All right, see that now is apparently the official start of Zoom meetings these days is the announcement of the recording. But the official announcement is now. So I want to welcome all of you to our student town hall. The purpose of this is the third in a series of town halls we've had over the past few months. The first one was for the new students who are joining Wayne State this year. That was done in conjunction with the College of Fine Performing and Communication Arts. We had breakout rooms for the communication students at that one. And then early July, we had the second one for our returning students. And as promised, this is the one now, as we are all staring the semester down and getting excited, anxious about what we have in front of us. I thought it would be good to touch base with you one more time. One of the things I hope you all are noticing is that we are trying to do a lot more outreach with you. We have asked the college to put together a listserv that's called Communication Students that gets to all of our majors, our minors, our graduate, our undergraduate. And we're going to use that to send messages like this, to send announcements, newsletters, as much as we can. I heard some students haven't been getting it, so we will continue to make sure that that list is updated as much as possible. We also are going to look into creating some other ways to communicate, because I think one of the things that's really clear right now is being connected. Because normally I'd love to see you in person. I'd love to see you in the halls, in the classroom, at the student center, walking around campus. That's how we connect. Now we get to do it this way. Now the good news is this is going to be recorded, so those who cannot be here can watch it. And right now there is I believe the returning student town hall is still on the website, and then we will be putting this one up as well. So in this sense, others who couldn't be with us can still get the information we're going to share today. Now, if you don't know who I am, besides the talking head on the screen, my name is Catherine Mcguire. I am the chair of the Department of Communication. And today I'm kind of the MC for this event. What we want to do for you today is just to communicate in a lot of the different ways how our programs, how our college, how our department are going to be supporting you as our students in the semester ahead. So I want to first start off by introducing one of our guests, and her name is Jordan Johnson. She's with the Academic Success Center. And Jordan is going to talk to you at the university level just to remind you about all the wonderful support that the university has for you as you venture into what is almost an entirely online semester. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that over to Jordan right now, who will talk about things from the Academic Success Center.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you all aren't too tired on this lovely afternoon. But again, I'm Jordan Johnson. I do work out of the Academic Success Center. I'm the coordinator for our tutoring program for undergraduate students. But today I'm not going to be focused so much on that aspect of my role, but I more so just want to let you all know that there are many support services available to you all as students on campus, not just for undergraduates, but for graduate students as well. So I just want to introduce you all to some of those resources that you can access all semester long. If you ever find yourself stuck or just need some tips or support in different ways, we do have some resources available for you. And we've tried to make it really clear and concise. So I just want to show you two of those resources that we have. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you what those are. Okay. So the first resource that we have is a web page called the Learn Anywhere page. So this page is housed on the Academic Success Center website. I'll put the direct link to this page in the chat after I finish. But what this is, it's sort of a resource hub. So this one web page consists of several different links to other resources that are available. So it has all of the Academic Success Center services like tutoring and the Study Skills Academy, but it also talks about several other services available on campus, such as the library resources, the Writing Center, which is really helpful, CNIT, Student Disability Services. And it also includes different tips and resources about maintaining balance while we're working in an online platform. Something that I've seen personally throughout the spring, summer is challenges with self-management. I know that being online, it might seem like it's really helpful or we have more time on our hands, but I think at this point, many of us have witnessed that not necessarily. So there are tips about how to maintain balance, some different things that are important like sleep, exercise, and different things like that, as well as other more personal resources such as counseling. So the links to our CAPS office, Counseling and Psychological Services, is listed here, as well as a few other resources. So the reason that we put this page together is because even though we are in an online environment, these services are still here to support you. So I know that there might be some concern about, since we're virtual, where do I get support from? But many of the departments at Wayne State have gone the extra mile the past few months to make sure that there are some streamlined services that are available for you all should you need them. So we're trying to be more proactive about that instead of reactive. So the Learn Anywhere page is a really great starting place if you don't really know where to look for different support. And then it also links out to the coronavirus page, which includes everything you need to know as a student about being on campus or working remotely during this time. And then the other service that I really want to highlight is this Effective Online Learner course. So when you click this link, and I'll put this link in the chat too, but what it is, it's a Canvas course that houses several different sort of mini courses that you can go through that show you some ways you can be effective online. So I'm already enrolled in the course, so I'll show you what it looks like from my end. But what it is, it's broken up into 5 different modules. So the first module is in a really detailed overview of how to use Canvas, Teams, and Zoom. So it really goes through it in detail. It has videos, guides, and other links that link out to other services and tutorials. So this is helpful if you really need like a starting place for having virtual classes or meetings. And then once you get past the technical stuff, now we have the different campus resources linked here again. So you'll see that Learn Anywhere page is right here, as well as a few other different strategies that are helpful for online as well as in person. So for example, the effective and ineffective learning strategies, these are useful whether you're in person or not. So these are some really great resources that I can't stress enough. You can look into some of these for your own knowledge. And then going past that, this section right here specifically speaks to working in an online environment. So you might find this to be really useful. The next module is about your time and space. So this is more of that self-management piece that I was referring to. So how to stay focused at home, how to manage all of your different online classes, some productivity tips. Multitasking doesn't really exist. If you want to know what I'm referring to, you can check out these links right here. The next module is creating balance online. So it's pretty straightforward. It also links out to different resources that are relevant to this specific module. Self-care is on here. And then this final module right here is a grad student corner, specifically for you master's or PhD students that may feel that you can't necessarily find support for you. They have created a module just with you all in mind. So this is a really great starting place. I'll stop sharing my screen. Something else I want to mention about the Effective Online Learner course is that you don't have to work through all of it. You don't have to go through it in order. It's a course which just keeps all the information right there in one place for your convenience, but it's for you to use as you need it. So if you feel like, hey, I could really use some self-care tips, or hey, I really need a certain resource but don't find it on the Wayne State website, I really highly encourage either the Learn Anywhere page or the Effective Online Learner course. So all in all, what I want to just say is that we are still here for you. And even if you can't find the specific resource that you need, you can always reach out to somebody from the Wayne State team and we can get you connected to the resources that might be specifically what you do need. So don't be afraid to reach out for that support. All right, thanks everyone. I'm gonna put the 2 links in the chat.
All right, thank you so much, Jordan. That is a super helpful Canvas site, and I'm glad that oftentimes, sometimes our undergrad or graduate students feel left out of the conversation, so it was really good to see an entire section dedicated to their unique needs, because talk about balance, they're teaching and they're taking classes, and many of them may also work, so thank you for that. All right, another person I'd like to briefly introduce, live from campus, as you'll be able to see, Chris has got his mask on, is Chris Gilbert from the College of Fine, Performing and Communication Arts, one of our amazing technical crew there. And I wanted Chris just to briefly talk about the fact that since, you know, we're working remotely, how can you access computer labs on campus that are normally available to CFPCA students? So Chris, can you talk a little bit about the virtual lab situation?
All right, hello everybody. As you can see, I myself am here. Luckily, you are not, but you will have the ability to use the computer labs as you would if you were here. Luckily, you can sit on your couch or on in your backyard and use the computers as you would. All the software is there. All the hardware performance is there. So you will be getting an invitation to Splashtop. We will be sending out documentations also. Your classes, if they are going to be held in those classrooms, will be available for you to log in at that time. So you can log into Splashtop. You won't see anything, but you will see a virtual open lab. Those virtual open labs are computers that are there. They have all the software that every PC and Mac would have on campus. So you can use this. This will always be there for you. Those computers will be 24/7, 365 days a year. We knew there was a need for a computer lab and we had plans for one, but coronavirus changed those for us. So I took it upon myself to figure out a way for you guys to still be able to use CFPCA utilities and everything that you needed to do your guys' jobs and work in your class. So when you are scheduled for a class, let's say the class is from 11 o'clock on Monday and Wednesdays, and it ends at 2, you will see at 11 o'clock, your course will appear in Splashtop. You might have to refresh, and all the computers for that lab will pop in. You can join one of the computers. You will notice that if it has a green little mark in it, somebody is already using that computer. You can just move down to the next one, remote in there, and continue to, you know, just act like normal, sign in with the password, just like you would here on campus. And before class ends at 2 o'clock, or whenever your class is going to end, you will get a message 5 minutes before telling you pretty much, hey, wrap it up, class is gonna end, you will be disconnected shortly. So just kind of a heads up so you don't get blindsided by just being disconnected and the computers disappear. However, you can transfer files from your computer to the computer that you're going to be working at. You can also use OneDrive. And I do know if you're working in Adobe, you do have online storage there. So you have ways of using the computers and then getting your data back, and so you're storing it locally for yourself. When you're doing this, I suggest that you always back your stuff up, you know, make sure you transfer it. But also, if you're currently working on something in class and it's ending, move on over to the virtual lab. You can use Mac or PC, whatever you're comfortable with, and just continue to work there. And up until the next class that you're scheduled for that would be on Splashtop, then move on over to that computer. Will make it easier for your teacher. If you have a problem, you can let them know and they can jump into that machine with you and you can show them like they would be in class looking over your shoulder. So I hope you guys have great success. Me and my team have worked really hard to bring this. We actually almost partnered with Splashtop. We have been giving them info to make this product better, and they've been using our needs and wants to craft the program that they've made for higher ed. So I hope it works out great. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at the FA support at wayne.edu and we'll get back to you.
All right, thank you so much. I can tell you after having them Splashtop into my computer, like I'll be sitting at my desk at work and they need to remote in. It's crazy because I'm not touching anything and I see the cursor moving around and they're opening things and close. It's like there's a ghost in my computer. It's crazy. So you get to be that person who remotes in, and if anyone was standing in that lab, they would see all these computer screens doing stuff. It's crazy. Actually, that could be a really interesting film right there about a ghost computer room. That could be fun. See, I'm thinking like that. All right, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. So as you can see, there are a lot of great resources at the college level and the department level, and we are really, truly dedicated to making this a success for everyone. And one of the things that will help us all be successful is being really clear communicators, because this is a really amazing time to be studying, thinking about creating messages in a communication department. So we have to be extremely mindful of our communication, which is again why we're doing a lot of outreach. One of the million-dollar questions we've been asked is, how long are we doing remote? When will we be in person again? And I really wish I had an answer for you for that, but understanding what's going on right now with coronavirus, the numbers in Michigan are still ranging from 400 to 700, 800 new cases a day right now. You know, our positivity rate is still above 3%, so I don't think people are seeing the trend that they want to, which means we're probably looking at a winter semester that's going to be similar to fall. But as I said, we are going to reach out to you and let you know that, but it'll be probably more towards the end of September because we need to see how things are going now. We need to see how, even though there's only about, I think I heard today, under 10% of classes on campus are face-to-face, we still have to see how that goes. We have people in our dorms, so we're going to see how all this goes. And if things seem to go well, then the conversation may differ. But I will be honest that right now I'm thinking winter may look similar to fall. But again, we'll see, and we'll know more later in September. I don't think there's going to be any vaccines widely available yet either. So I think we're going to be in this for the full year. So I wanted to be honest with you up front. But there are other things that we will let you know about. As a reminder, starting in October, you're going to be able to apply for scholarships. The department has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of scholarships available to majors, to undergraduate and graduate students. And Academic Works is the way that you will access that. So I just wanted to, we will send out an email about it when it comes closer to time. And this is the idea is apply, apply, apply. I also want to do a few other just kind of housekeeping things to let you know about the department. First of all, most of the department is working remotely. Our office, which is in 585 Mcguire Hall, so if you're new to campus, Mcguire Hall is at in the Forest, you know, off of Warren and the Lodge, so it's the building right there. It's across from the, right next to the Anthony Wayne Apartments, so it's fairly well located. But our office is going to be open 2 days a week, but it's still going to have a locked door. So if you come and you need something, you'll need to either knock on the door or ring the doorbell. Someone will be able to help you. You will need to wear a mask. Chris was demonstrating what the Wayne State mask looks like, and I think you'll get swag bags with those fancy masks on. But you will need to wear a mask in public places, walking through the halls, bathrooms, elevators, and things like that on campus. So we'll be around, but the best way to get a hold of any of us is through email. And communication@wayne.edu is the one that is staffed during business hours, and they can answer questions. Like one of our most common questions this time of year is about overrides. And you can ask that question. If a course is full and you're trying to get into it, the first communication you send out is a nice, polite email to the instructor, letting them know that you are asking for a override into their closed class. You might want to tell why, so they understand if you're a graduating senior and you need it or something like that, giving them information. You will also want to give them things like your full name, so not just a nickname or a first name, but a full name, your access ID, the banner ID, which is that long 9-digit one on your one card, your major, and the course name. So if you could like COM 3300 or whatever. So you send that to the instructor. If the instructor is able to accommodate your request, they will then send it to communication@wayne.edu, and the override will be processed from there. So that's a common question we get right now, is how to do overrides. And so, because again, a lot of the courses are full right now, but you can always ask the instructor, but you have to go to the instructor first. And when you communicate with faculty and staff, just because we're on this virtual environment, this goes to the balance that Jordan was talking about. So faculty may need 24 hours to respond or 48 hours to respond. You know, staff might be inundated with getting 50 to 150 messages a day. So we ask some patience on that. As we try our best to have boundaries, but I also encourage you to have boundaries too. It's okay. You need to take breaks. You need to walk away from the computer when you can, rest your eyes. So the last thing I kind of want to mention about communication then is to be honest with your instructors. If you're new to the online environment, let them know this, because you know they're here to support you, and you've heard about a lot of things that we have to support. If you or a family member get ill, we need to know that so you can communicate with us so we will know what's going on. Again, communication's never been more important than it is this semester. So please reach out to your instructors if you are struggling, if you need help. Jordan shows you the links for things like academic success, CAPS. Your advisors are amazing support, a couple of whom are on this call, and you'll hear from them later. So with that being said, I now want to turn it over to our area heads, who are going to kind of talk about each of the programs and each of the groups. So our department is set up into areas, which is where the undergraduate majors kind of hang out. So the first one, I believe Stephanie Tong is on this call, and she is the area head for communication studies, which includes public relations as well. So Stephanie, why don't you talk a little bit about what's coming on from your seat, and then we'll hear from Shelley about a particular student organization called PRSSA, and then Ron Stevenson might share, because we have one of the most competitive and successful debate programs some of you may have known about, and he can share a little bit about what's going on with that this year. So Stephanie?
Thanks, Catherine. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. I know that this is an unusual semester, but I think we're all going to do our best. So with regard to communication studies and public relations, and I'll let Shelley chime in as well, but our faculty and our graduate instructors have all been working this summer to transition our courses online. So actually a lot of us did not take a break over the summer because we had to rapidly become experts with technology. Not saying that we're going to be amazing at it, but we're going to do our best. And we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to learn together. So we're very much still really centered in making sure that we have just as much interaction as we normally would in a classroom. But that also means that we really need your participation. So we also are totally aware that all of your classes probably this term are online. So what does that mean? That means you're going to have 3 to 4 different instructors who are all going to have a different online style. They're all going to have a different Canvas layout. You're going to have tons and tons of multiple due dates and projects and things flying at you. So use the Academic Success Center, right? Keep track of those deadlines. And we're going to do our best to be flexible, because we know that you're going to miss some stuff. Things are going to get lost in your inbox. That's going to be probably very normal for this time. But what does that mean? I just want to reiterate something that Catherine said. Please stay in touch with us, email us, keep in contact. If you have a question or an issue or a problem in your class, you have to speak up because we're not seeing you every day, so we're not gonna know. So it's gonna be really, really important, even more than normal, to communicate with us, ask us questions, talk to your instructors, talk to your graduate instructors, talk to your advising crew. You know, we're gonna do our best to really try to support you. And then also, right, we're gonna get through this together. But you know, we can only help you if we know that you have a problem. So please make sure that you contact us early and often. We love to hear from you. Even in the midst of the chaos, we still want to help. So please make sure that you're chatting with us online. A lot of our events this semester are also going to be virtual. So a lot of our speaker series and lecture series are going to all be online events. So please stay tuned to your emails for invitations to those online events. So next up is Shelley, who will talk a little bit about PR and PRSSA.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our town hall. And as Stephanie and Catherine and those before us have shared, it's really important to, you know, to stay in constant contact, to don't ghost, as you, in your guys' lingo, to don't ghost us. If you're having a problem, don't freeze. Reach out to us. Because again, we don't have the advantage of reading your nonverbals, of noticing that you're suddenly sitting in the corner or that you're not showing up or that your face looks funny. You know, we're used to those kinds of clues into your mental, emotional wellness. And because we don't have that, we need you to reach out to us. And you know, and that's okay, because that's a good life lesson too, to learn how to find your voice and to ask for help. That's a good adulting lesson, because some of us at our older age, that would be me, are just now learning how to reach out and ask for help. And boy, have I learned in this online community how to ask for help, LOL. So yeah, so and as Stephanie mentioned as well, that yeah, we've spent all summer, you know, working, getting ready for this. So I want to see the fruits of all my work. So I plan, and I know all of my colleagues do too, we plan on making this the best semester that we can for you. We're like Stephanie said, we're in this together. So yes, please don't hesitate to be that student, to email me and say, hi, Shelley, I see that the quiz is due, but it's not published. And then I'm like, ah! So I run over there and I see that I published the announcement reminding you to take the quiz, but I forgot to publish the quiz. I love when students did that. This is how I survived in the spring. I was so lost in all the minutia and all the details, I was forgetting to publish the darn things. So like my little student, they were so fun and so helpful, you know, that they were letting me know. So please let us know if you can't find something, because guess what? It might be on our end, because we've got so many modules and to do, and we're trying to make it easy for you, that guess what? We forgot to press something. So please let us know if you can't find it. And so with that said, the PRSSA group is a Public Relations Student Society of America group. It's our pre-professional group for PR majors and other majors. We have Comm Studies majors, we have journalism majors, we have business majors over from the business school. The marketing majors have joined us, and we've actually partnered with them on some events. And so we are a very thriving group. They are ready to offer a robust fall semester of programs for membership. Some are open to non-members, but most are for membership. We will have a membership drive this fall. I'll make sure your instructors let you know about that, and I will too. And you can look for us on Facebook at the WSU PRSSA, or I think it's Wayne State PRSSA, otherwise you get Washington State. So anyways, yeah, look for us, and then we'll post all that stuff for you about how to join and all of that. They're really doing well in this environment, the PR, our membership executive board, because this is the environment that they're all very comfortable with managing and navigating already because they're in internships and so forth doing this. So I expect that the programs will be high quality and that you'll enjoy them. And okay, so you can email me. My email is and I'll put it in the chat. I'll just put it in the chat. So, or you can look me up, because as you can see, my real name is Michelle, even though I don't answer to that, but that's what you have to look up in order. So I'll put my email in the chat. So welcome everybody. Let's do this. That was weird, I know.
Okay, Ron, you get to follow that.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
good, Joy.
That was fantastic. I don't know how you follow that. It's not possible. Just as an aside, though, Shelley is a product of the Wayne State Forensics and Debate Team. So, this is pretty good advertisement in and of itself. I'm here to talk about the Wayne State Forensic Union, give you a little bit of sort of background on that. Just as an upfront, this is primarily only available to undergraduate students. It seems every semester I get graduate students that want to join the debate team. And while we would love to have you, they don't have leagues available for us to have you compete. If you want to judge, I'm sure I could facilitate that. So if you're a graduate student and would like to judge some debates, I can definitely make that happen. But for undergraduates, the Wayne State speech and debate teams have a long an amazing tradition. For those of you that don't know about it, everybody asks me what Wayne State is good at in terms of sports and things like that, and I'm always like, well, debate, really. That's what we are really well known for. Everybody says fencing. I don't know where that comes from, but we have won national championships, and what's unique about the speech and debate teams is we are not guided by divisions. So, normally they'd only compete against Division II competitors. Our speech and debate teams compete against everybody. So we compete against the Ivy League, the West Coast, the East Coast. You want to, have a chance to go against Harvard or Yale, or, compete against USC or Berkeley, then the debate team is probably a good place for you. A little bit more about the debate team. We have 3 teams. We have a policy team, which is a very research-oriented team. We have a public forum debate team, which is more into practicing public speaking skills and more political in a sense. And then we have a speech team, which is dedicated to a wide variety of speaking activities, like after dinner speaking, poetry, prose, multiple. There's a wide variety of things that go into that. But one of my favorite things about our program in particular is, well, we do recruit. We really like to have students walk on from within the campus. So if this is something you're interested in, contact us. You don't need experience to participate in this program. We've done an amazing job over the years fostering people who have just an initial interest. And then by the end, they're nationally competitive. It looks great on a resume. If you're going to law school, this is normally an avenue that a lot of people are interested in participating. Or if you're just one of those people that's stuck at home right now and need somebody to sort of speak their mind to, then maybe, looking into debate is available to you. Everything's online, so we'll be through Zoom the entire semester. Your coaching sessions will be with me and our various assistants, also online. So it's probably about as safe as you can get. But if you have any interest, and there are scholarship opportunities available for those who do participate down the road, I'll put my email in the chat, and hopefully I look forward to seeing some of you. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Kim Piper-Aiken, who is going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the journalism area.
Get unmuted here. Well, first of all, welcome back. We're very excited to get this semester started. I have very complicated classes because I teach broadcast journalism and TV production. So those classes are going to be a little bit different. The point I'd like to make, and I would like to echo what several of my colleagues who've already spoken, is to make sure that you understand, if you're getting communication from your instructors and your professors, be sure you read that and understand. I think most of us are sending out communications to let students know how we're going to be handling our classes, because there's a lot of different types of classes, and hopefully you'll become familiar with those if you're not already. Some of the courses are asynchronous, meaning they're all online and there's no set meeting times where you're expected to kind of come together during a class hours. Most of our journalism courses, I won't say most, but many of them are what we call synchronous, where it says you're going to be meeting Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 11:15, and you won't be physically on campus during those hours, but your instructor is expecting you to be available either on Zoom or Teams or whatever for those kinds of meetings. So I think the most important thing is, first and foremost, is for you to understand what types of classes they're going to be. We have very few face-to-face, but we do have several hybrid courses, which means that many of your lectures and that type of thing will be online, but you may have lab sessions that you'll have to attend. If you're getting emails from our department or from your individual faculty members, please read those very carefully. I sent out emails to my 40+ students a few days ago, and I've only heard back from maybe a 10th of those students. Not that I expect to hear back, but you know, those are some of the kinds of things that maybe you're not expecting to hear from your professors a week before classes start. But I think here again, everybody's emphasized the communication. So just make sure you understand and have a good understanding of that. Like my other colleagues indicated, we'll be turning some of our historically in-person events into virtual events. And Kat, did you want me to let Perry and Alicia Nails talk about their individual programs? Is that a good point for this?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. I think we'll transition now to our internship coordinator, Perry Farrell. He is also in charge of our SPJ chapter. So Perry, if you could just kind of talk to students about internships, not just in the journalism, but the entire department. And then also, we're still having our Student Society Professional Journalism organization, even if it's in virtual. So I'll turn it over to Perry.
Okay, first of all, talking about the internships, we have them in public relations, radio, TV, newspaper, and we have on-campus internships. We kind of open that up right now. We're getting ready to hit double digits. We're usually about 20 to 30, 35, but because of the pandemic, our numbers are a little low. But the thing that I can stress is that we have students who are now in the marketplace and in the job world because they took the internship. So it's a way to get your name out there, to develop a relationship with a company, and then become an invaluable employee, and then they hire you. So I'm really proud about that. I think over the summer, we have 5 students get hired full-time for a full-time position. So that's great. Society Professional Journalists, we've had 14 people register so far. We're going to meet online, of course, about twice a month. We're going to have an internship fair October 21st from 9 to 11:30. I sent out the emails this morning. I've already heard back from 10 companies who will make a commitment to be on the virtual Zoom program that we're going to do in October. So I'm really encouraged about some of the leadership that has stepped forward with SPJ. Our internship program is one of the best in the state, if not the best. We're going to place our students. Thank God I have great resources to get people to deal with our students and have good experiences. And then they come back to us because our people are prepared and ready to be functioning in these positions. So that's about it.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'll take it away. This is Alicia Nails. I teach in the journalism program. In addition, I'm on the publications board or pub board for the South End. The South End is our official student newspaper, and you are so invited. You're invited in more ways than you'll ever know to participate at the South End. Students can submit stories at any kind of a rate that they choose. In other words, if you want to write a few stories or if you want to become a regular contributor, having a clip for your electronic portfolio is so important. It shows you're well-rounded. So sometimes students say, well, I'm not really interested in pursuing print journalism, but having to think through a story, the elements required for a story, it augments your classwork and it gives you something really wonderful for your electronic portfolio, which by the time you finish our program, all students will have an electronic portfolio, and those are some of the kinds of things that we work together on, not only in class, but in the Society for Professional Journalists chapter. They will do that kind of thing, workshops, and look at them. And then I also direct a learning community. It's the Journalism Institute for Media Diversity. We are a group of students who are really kind of hyper into journalism. Some of the members of the Journalism Institute are in leadership at the South End routinely. We just kind of really work together, just like with SPJ, looking at national opportunities, local opportunities for internships, scholarships, networking with professionals, brown bags with events, which we'll do on Zoom. So not to go on and on, but certainly if you're interested, we're updating my website page for the Journalism Institute for Media Diversity. So certainly take a look if you're interested in joining a learning community of that nature. Okay, I'm rambling, I'll stop.
Thank you, Alicia. Just a couple of comments before I wrap up. Thank you both, Alicia and Perry, for those thoughts. For journalism majors and broadcast journalism majors, you're required to have one internship to graduate. You can do up to 6 credit hours for 2, 3, or 4. And then internships are strongly recommended for PR, comm studies, and I think some of our master's programs do require an internship experience of some kind. So that's a really valuable resource to keep in mind. Alicia mentioned the South End, which is a newspaper. You also have some opportunities as a broadcast student, broadcast journalism. Wayne Radio, WAYN, is an internet radio station. You don't have to take the class. You can volunteer. A lot of students really, really love the opportunity to work on radio. So if you log that into, if you do a search, I think they're still doing some of those kinds of things. If not during this COVID pandemic strangeness, definitely afterwards. And I'd like to just do a real quick pitch to a television show that we produce in our department called Metro Arts Detroit. We're in our 10th season starting this semester. It's an arts and entertainment TV show that students produce with me in the TV studio in the Maccabees building. And so as you get into your curriculum, I'd love to have you join. And it's an arts and entertainment show that airs on Detroit Public Television. So if you're interested, our website is metroartsdetroit.com. Right now, our shows are airing on DPTV Fridays at 2:30. So welcome. We're so glad to have you here. My name is Kim Piper Aiken. My email is just kpiperaiken@wayne.edu. Anytime you have a question, concern, or you're curious about anything, our faculty is really, really happy to talk with you and answer any questions that might come up. So thanks and welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Kim. And now I'm going to turn it over to Juanita Anderson, who is the area head for Media Arts and Studies. And that's the one that has a lot of the, has had a lot of heavy lifting getting you ready, but I can guarantee you they have gotten things ready for production, for film, to be great. So Juanita.
And we're all taking heavy sighs at the moment. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to see both undergrad and grad students in our midst today. So congratulations to you all for being here. The Media Arts and Studies area includes the Media Arts and Studies undergraduate major, the film undergraduate major, as well as the MA concentration in Media Arts and Studies. So we carry a lot of balls in general. This semester is certainly larger than usual for a whole host of reasons. If you're taking a film studies course or a media studies course, it is likely to be entirely online. Some will be synchronous and some will be asynchronous. And if you have not, I should say this, if you have not received a letter from your instructors this semester, you probably will by the end of the week, telling you what to expect in each of your classes. Our production courses, most of them, not all, but most, will be some form of hybrid. We recognize the importance of our students learning their crafts and learning how to use the technology. And you can't really practice your craft if you don't have the technology in terms of cinematography, in terms of being a lighting specialist or a sound specialist or a director or a producer. We are working very hard to make sure that we can give you the best possible experience during these crazy times, as well as opportunities to engage in actual production. I have to say this, for those of you who we will be asking to come to campus, we're asking you to follow all of the university guidelines to get on campus, as well, and that includes taking the health assessment. What is it called, Kat? The initial one?
The warrior
Safe
training, yes, and then the daily screener.
Yes, and then the daily screeners. You're going to be asked to wear masks. We will not let you in the room in a production class without your mask on. You will be asked to do a temperature check as well, and you will be expected to social distance. Some of our production classes are smaller this semester than usual to ensure that we can provide for social distancing. You will probably not come to lab. You will not come to lab with your entire class, but the class will be split into different groups and you'll alternate days in which you will be coming to lab. I should make a note. We also have a film and media group, which is the student organization, and they are working now to see what kinds of activities they can actually engage on during the semester. I know that we'll be meeting. I don't know that they will be actually involved in production, but you'll be getting notices from them about various activities. We're working very diligently, and I should note, I'm a filmmaker myself, and as an independent filmmaker, once I saw the industry standards for operating in COVID-19 come out, I realized, oh my gosh, this would take a third of somebody's budget in order to carry out these things. So small independents have sort of had to work collectively to devise working production protocols that will keep us safe as much as possible, but understanding budgetary limitations. And for your courses that are production engaged, we are working on that kind of model and seeking university support to help us fulfill those production goals. So part of what you're going to be engaging in, which is going to be the new normal for quite some time, as you're learning production protocols, you're going to be learning safety protocols on the set. That's part of the new normal. And the expectation is that you will always adhere to them for your own safety as well as for your fellow crew members. I want to echo something that Stephanie talked about earlier, which is we want to know if you're not feeling well. We don't want you to try to force yourself to come if you're not feeling well. You should stay home. You should also notify your instructor. You should not be present if you are sick. Having said that, and we will be compassionate and understanding and try to work things out. However, please understand that our industry, media and film and journalism as well, is one that adheres to deadlines. There's a saying in my industry, time is money. So if you have a deadline that you find for health reasons that you are not able to keep, or you got totally screwed up in the online universe, please reach out and let someone know. Otherwise, we're assuming that you don't have the discipline it takes to be part of our program. And discipline is everything, as is creativity. It's a business, it's an industry, an entertainment industry. Business and art have to balance. So keep that in mind. For those of you who are taking courses in our production facility, which we call the MARE, which consists of 2 classrooms as well as editing facilities and equipment, your use of Splashtop in terms of how you sign up for it will be a bit different than what Chris Gilbert talked about. So I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Gottesman to talk more about splash top usage in the mayor, as well as more safety protocols and guidelines that we're instituting. Kelly, are you there?
Hey everyone, thank you for attending today. Yes, Splash Top is going to be a little different. It is a wonderful tool, and we're going to try to work it through as best we can given what's in front of us. The mirror will operate as much as possible as usual with a lot of safety measures in place. We do have a new checkout center for curbside delivery. I'll talk about that just briefly. But as far as Splash Top goes, it is contingent upon bandwidth. And as you guys know, those who are in this conversation in our area with the Avid or any other NLE, it's processor intensive. That can be a bottleneck when working in this remote environment. But we will offer both in-person, as long as we can, and remote editing options to students who need to satisfy their course requirements. So that is the Splash Top Skinny right now. Those who are on the call and are in-person lab students, meaning your classes will meet in person, please keep an eye out for an email from Chris Gilbert about how to install and set up your Splash Top. You will be authorized for a certain block of computers and that you can access. There will still be a requirement through web checkout, those who are familiar with that, to schedule your your remote or in-person editing appointments. With that said, equipment, hopefully we get through the instruction of equipment early on in the term so that for whatever reason we can't meet face-to-face, that we will still be able to offer the opportunity for students to come down to campus without coming into a building and being able to pick up equipment from our, it's the ELJ, Elaine Jacob Gallery. They've allowed us to commandeer their space for the fall term to be able to push a cart out with the equipment that you have checked out for the day. So that's the plan as of now. Where we at, what, 4:45 on August 25th? Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Thank you, Juanita.
You're welcome. Back to you, Kat.
Thank you, and so much great information to share that I'm looking at the time. So I want to make sure if you sent in a question in advance, that Jessica's going to put some answers into the chat, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kelly Young right now to talk a little bit about the grad side. But keep an eye on chat if you haven't had your question answered.
Hello, everyone. The graduate program will be online this year, both in terms of the staffing and the courses, other than the aforementioned production classes. And I think all of them are being held in a synchronous fashion, meaning in person, online. And so if for students that are now done with their coursework, the graduate school has approved that we can do all of qual processes and all of those sort of defenses online. And so I've got instructions and details on all of that. The way that I plan to stay in touch with students during the semester, because I've received, I think, some panicked communication from both master's and PhD students, particularly new ones, and I understand, is that I'll typically have a weekly newsletter that I'm going to try to do a better job of organizing as master's level kind of news, specific news, PhD specific news, and then just some general news that's either, and that usually what I try to do is consolidate all of the information I get from the graduate school, the departments, other university resources that I think are just relevant to grad students. The very tail end of the newsletter is job announcements, academic job announcements, because I get a lot of those emails and it's just an easy place to put all of it rather than flood grad students with 20 emails a week. So that'll be one mode of communication that we'll have. The second is I don't have the date set yet, but I'll email these out. But I plan to host periodic meetings with grad students. That's basically open office hours for the entire grad program. I may not be able to answer every question for you, but it'll be a space if you have questions about what something means or you're having difficulty at the graduate program, I'll be available periodically during the semester, or if you just want to tell me how frustrated and burned out you are and you're sick of Zoom, I might share stories with you as well. But it's just an opportunity for us to talk, to keep people connected. Two contacts for grad students will be me and also Dr. Cleo Moody. We will be available online. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. So if we have sent out some previous communication, you don't understand lingo or what information applies to you or doesn't apply to you, I'm happy to answer those questions. Another way to stay connected, I believe you'll hear from them shortly, is the Communication Graduate Student Association that will provide some sense of community. Another way to ask questions as you have them is also, if you're new to the program, COM 7000 and COM 8000 will be also other vehicles in which you can ask questions and gain a sense of community amongst grad students, because there's a good chance if you're confused as a new MA student, so are other people in 7000, which is all new incoming MA students take. If you're confused about the PhD program, they're taking 8000. That's an opportunity to ask those questions, and I'm the instructor of that class, so it's another opportunity to find out information. So hopefully you'll be a little sick of hearing from me this semester, but that's the designed plan. We have resources in which hopefully as grad students you can stay connected, because one of the most important things about a graduate program, whether you are part-time, if you're master's or PhD or full-time, is having a sense of camaraderie amongst your cohort of students. And that's the toughest part of us going virtual, is that we're all at a distance. And sometimes being within close proximity of other people is very comforting when you're going through a lot of hard work or just need somebody to quickly vent to. So I strongly encourage, through the channels that I just discussed and through your classwork, that you find folks that are like-minded to you and that you feel comfortable communicating with. That is one of the easiest ways to avoid sort of the burnout and the isolation that teaching remotely and having to deal with all of this, or I guess taking classes remotely, how that affects us. So I strongly recommend that, but it looks like Dr. Moody just included our email in the chat. And so we will be also, for the new students to the program, just as a reminder to the new graduate students, that is we will have a graduate orientation on September 3rd. That is a Thursday from 4:30 to 6. The Zoom invite information will be coming out very shortly. I just created the invite just a little bit before this meeting. And so that'll be an opportunity also for you to meet not only fellow students, but also to meet some of the graduate faculty. And then we will review the basic elements of the master's program and the PhD program as well, to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So please mark that date, September 3rd, 4:30 to 6, over Zoom, of course. And I think those are all of the updates, unless Cleo, do you have something? I don't know if Cleo, but Cleo must be here. She just typed.
Yeah.
Really no additional updates. Most of the grad students pretty much already know who I am. But for undergrad students, if you have questions regarding the A grade program, senior rule, or post-bachelor program, you can reach out to me as well.
All right. Thank you both very much. I want to have Jessica Greenwald take us out this evening. She is one of our amazing undergraduate advisors who advises for journalism and media arts and studies. She's been monitoring chat. She got the questions in advance. And so Jessica, say hi, and what would you like to say about the questions that have come in?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this fall semester. As Kat said, I am one of the undergrad academic advisors. I usually work with the journalism, film, and media arts students. And then my colleague, Mary Grenfell, works with public relations, communication studies, and exploratory students. And my other colleague, Victoria Dallas, works with honor students and students who are returning from a time away. So we have a great advising corps ready for you. We are all virtual. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is to make your appointment via Advising Works. That way you know you have a dedicated time for us to focus specifically on your issues. Our calendars will get a little crazy as we get closer to fall registration, which opens at the end of October. So put a note in your calendar to make those appointments sooner rather than later, just to make sure we get on, you get on our schedule. Otherwise, we're doing them via Teams, via Zoom. I have a Google Voice phone number that you can call me directly, and that information is in our out of office email replies, so a whole bunch of information there. And then when you make an Advising Works appointment, you get an email to your Wayne State email that gives you exact information on how the appointments are going to be run. So you really want to take care and start looking at that. If you haven't already, the way to access your Wayne State email is to log into Academica. And at the very top in that green bar, there's a little envelope that will take you to the Office suite where Outlook is our email service. The other thing I just want to reiterate, and students have been asking me this all the time, is how can they find information about their classes prior to September 1st? And the quick answer is, if there are times and days listed and there's a room assigned, you're probably going to be face-to-face. If there are times and days assigned, but no room, odds are you're going to be synchronous. And if there's no times and days assigned and no room assigned, you're going to be online. So that's the quickest version. But I would really start checking your Canvas pages for all of your courses. Faculty are uploading their course syllabus, which is going to have all the information about how the class is going to be run, your specific section of that class, and their contact information, all of that. So please start looking at that. The way you can access Canvas, again, is through Academica. If you go on that green bar right at the top, Canvas looks like a broken up pizza or pie wheel. So click on that and it will take you right to your dashboard, and you'll have a page for all of your individual classes. So please, please, please start looking at those now. If you're still confused though, reach out to your faculty member. As I think several of them said, they're not gonna know you need help unless you ask for it. So please take them up on that offer. The advising crew, we're also here for you to help you navigate the issues with financial aid and getting tutoring services, all that kind of stuff. You can ask us those questions too. So you can find our email. I'll put it up in the chat to our advising page. Cleo, Dr. Moody, Cleo's on there, Victoria Dallas, Mary, myself, so you can get all of our contact information there. So thank you, and we're looking forward to a good fall.
All right, thank you so much, Jessica. I know that was a lot of information. This has been recorded. We'll be posting it on the website, so you can rewatch it if you think you've missed anything. I haven't seen any new questions pop up. So at this point, since we are a little after 5, I just want to thank you all so much. But I think one of the things that I hope is really clear are 2 things. Number 1, we got this. We got you. We got each other. So that is the kind of the thing to remember. And number 2 is, hey, we're a communication department, so let's do what we all know how to do and do best. And that's reach out, interact, and talk with each other. So again, thank you for being here tonight. And we look forward to seeing you virtually in any way, shape, or form that comes in about a week. Have a great evening, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you.